was at a workshop. It was on the economic mobility of families, and they were talking about dual income families. But I said, well, what about single mothers? And the speaker said, we didn't study them because there's really not a path. And I knew then that we would create one.
That is what CTL is about. We advocate for the family and we teach them how to advocate for themselves.
It's healing that's done through relationships over time that really makes the difference at CTL.
Originally from Detroit, Michigan, got my accounting degree. Did my best to find gainful employment. It wasn't happening. Things went south. So I got on the Greyhound bus and I rode all the way to Texas. I decided to come to Texas to be closer to my kids. That bus was my home for those couple of days.
When I was 9, that's when I first became a mother. By the time I was 16, I had another one on the way. When I turned 18, my biological mother abandoned my other 3 siblings at my house and took off. So at 18, I had a whole lot of kids all of a sudden. Young and in the military, just trying to figure out, okay, how do I do this? How do I not fail these kids? How do I not make their story what my story was? And it took me on this roller coaster ride.
It started to be terrifying. Who I'm gonna stay with? What's gonna happen to me? So when I did get off the bus with, an Army duffel bag and 1 suitcase, my daughter stood up there and picked me up, and she said, Ma, so what about CTL? We checked in, just have a seat, I think is what I heard. Seeing this lady come around the corner, not knowing, going like, she gonna say no, she gonna say no. This woman said, you are accepted. That is the most beautiful word I ever heard. Because I didn't know. I didn't know where I was going. I broke down and cried so hard because I could let go and find myself.
Not a lot of people are able to do that as quick as she did.
As long as you put forth an effort, they gave 120% back. From getting food stamp card, housing, IDs, coaching and development from Alicia, to getting my teeth pulled. They cared so much.
My first interaction with CTL was when I was coming out of a domestic violence relationship. I was part of their transitional housing program. I didn't have family, I didn't have friends. There was time where I slept on the streets. They saved my life. They gave me a safe place that I knew I could depend on. And when it came to my kids, they became a huge support system. Dealing with my autistic daughter, and then my now 5-year-old was having his first brain surgery. I felt like I was failing myself and failing my children, and I was questioning, how did I end up here? This isn't where I planned my life to be.
I started looking for jobs. And I finally got a phone call.
She didn't think she'd last a year. She's been there for 2 years. When she had purchased all of the furniture and decorated her apartment, which is a big deal, she sent me pictures and it was hers. She earned all of that stuff.
I had everything. I walked out of here with more bags than when I came in with. And that to me was everything. I can ride by and my whole being wants to cry out of gratitude. It got me wholeheartedly. You will always have me. So I'm okay.
CTL has helped me through one of the most difficult points in my life. They stepped in without a blink of an eye, and my children end up being CTL students in their early Head Start program. For my daughter, I get to show her that what matters is what you're willing to put forth, what you're willing to sacrifice, and what you're trying to gain. These are things that I learned while being a part of CTL's transitional housing program.
CTL has so many different programs that will wrap around a family.
And our donors really are our partners.
You make a difference in the lives of people that you're probably never going to meet. They'll ask us, well, where did you get this? Or where did you get that? And I said, our donors gave that to us.
That whatever it takes approach isn't a model that lives on paper. It's a model that lives in our hearts, in our minds every single day. It's why we show up when things get really hard. It's why our teachers are in the classrooms in the middle of a pandemic. It is why our caseworkers are there for the families, whether it's nights or weekends or daytime. So many of us have been there ourselves, and we know what it's like to change. We know it's possible. So we want those dollars that you so generously give to work immediately to make that transformation happen.
To have that much support How could you not make it? How could you not succeed?
My future is up to what I'm willing to give to get there.
Center of transforming lives. That's it. Those 3 words are exactly what they mean. Nothing less, but always more for the next group of women and children coming through here.